Hello, ladies, and welcome back to Get On Girl, a girl's guide to relationships, femininity, dating, polarity, and attraction. Okay, ladies, so today I want to talk to you, ladies, about how to teach people how to treat you. Okay, ladies, what are the things that really stick out beyond just words that we do that teaches people how to treat us? Okay, ladies. And so often we are praised like as feminine women for being super kind and super patient. But sometimes those things, they can be taken for granted. And the truth is, people have to learn how to operate with you when you're in your femininity, because sometimes they're so used to everyone being so aggressive that they take it for weakness when they see you. Okay, ladies. And so what I want to do is go over 5 key ways that we show people how to treat us, even on our feminine walk, even in our softness. Okay, ladies. So let's go ahead and hop into the first one. So initially, I think we have to realize that number one, your energy teaches first. Okay, ladies, the way that you carry yourself teaches people how to treat you first. The environments that you put yourself in, the way you walk into rooms, the way you speak, the way you move, all these things initially teach people what bracket to put us in, basically, and from there it shows them how they can treat us. Okay, ladies, because what we do is when we see people, we take shortcuts. And what I mean is when we see people based off their behavior, we will put them into different categories. Okay. And so once you categorize people by how they behave, you start to see that you can behave a certain way around them. Okay. And so people do the same thing with us. Okay. So when they see us and they see our energy and they see how we carry ourselves, that is the first teacher to let people know how to treat us. Okay, ladies. So when you're calm and when you're clear and when you're grounded, when you're not someone who is just acting up, when you're comfortable in your femininity, you're teaching people that you are not a person that is for all the rowdy, messy drama and all of that comes with a lot of relationships these days. Okay. They realize that there is a maturity to you and there is a certain way they have to operate in order to be around you. I don't know if you ladies have ever seen, for example, a man with the craziest mouth. He can have the mouth of a sailor, but it's something about when a certain woman walks into the room, or even if it's his mother, but it's something about when a woman walks into the room, all of a sudden, all those cuss words and all those things, everything that he was saying, he changes it because she's in the room. All of a sudden it's like, oh, excuse my French. I don't know if you ladies have experienced that. I've experienced that a lot because there's something about your presence that is teaching them that they can't just be any kind of way around you. Okay, that is their first indicator on how to be when they're in your presence. Okay, ladies, so make sure that you are paying attention to your energy when you are meeting people, because they do read that and they do categorize us based off of that and how they treat us. Okay, ladies, so the second thing that teaches people how to treat us is our ability to set standards and communicate our boundaries early on. Early on, ladies, and early on is really a key here, because although, yes, you can start to create boundaries and things later on in relationships, it's a lot harder for people to realize that they are dealing with a new you at that point and that the standard has changed. Okay, so a lot of times it is important for us to be able to early on set boundaries for people, set filters in place so that people know that anything does not go when they're interacting with you. Okay, ladies, and what that means is you're going to have to be able to advocate for yourself, even in friendships, even in communicating with people that are close to you that may be family members. You have to be able to speak and communicate boundaries to them early on. Catch it while it's fresh. So if you're in a situation, for instance, say that you have someone who tends to interrupt, okay, while you're speaking, Well, your best bet is to not let that linger till it gets out of hand. Your best bet is to go ahead and set a boundary on that early and let them know, listen, it's not acceptable for this to keep happening. And to do that early on, catch it while it's fresh. Okay, ladies, because that is going to set a standard for how they interact with you going forward. Okay, you want to address things clearly and as soon as you can. You want to filter that kind of behavior out before it gets too far along, because people tend to, especially first meeting people, tend to fill out situations, and that's when they're most likely to step out of line with you. And so if you're able to go ahead and nip it in the bud early, they'll already know that basically you don't play that. Okay, ladies, let them know that as soon as you can, so you don't have to keep enduring something that you don't like and then it bubbles out of control. Okay, they need to know what you're about from the start, because like I said, it's harder for people to change once you've allowed them to treat you a certain way for so long. So set the standard early and set your boundaries for what you will accept in your presence, what you will accept around you. Set those early. That's with friends, that's with family, that's with in relationships, that's with men. Regardless, set your boundaries as early as you can. Okay, ladies, number 3 is you gotta know how to use the word no. N-O. We have to learn how to use that word. And I think part of growing up as a woman in this society, we were, especially by the older generation, we had to be so agreeable. You know what I'm saying, ladies? Because so much of our livelihood depended on other people because we didn't have our basic rights. And so, of course, we had to be agreeable for our livelihood. But we are in a new day and age to where you can say no and walk away from situations and be perfectly okay. Do you get what I'm saying, ladies? And so you have to learn how to say no and mean that thing, okay? Instead of saying yes to things where you really know that you're not wanting to be a part of it. You're not in it for any reason other than to make someone else happy. Okay, ladies? So you have to learn how to use that no, okay? You are not a genie. You're not here to grant wishes. You're not here to give people everything they want from you all the time. That is not what you're here for. Okay, ladies? And sometimes when you get in a position where you say yes to things so much, people start to expect yes from you, okay? People start to expect it, and it's almost a given for you to say yes. But what you want to be able to do is say no when you need to, so that they realize when I do say yes, for one, I mean it, and for two, it's a gift. It's something that I'm going to give you because I want to and not because I have to. Do you get what I'm saying, ladies? Don't make it to where people expect you to say yes, and if you don't, they feel like they have the right to be angry. That means you're saying, that's a sure sign, a surefire way to tell that you say yes too much. If you say no finally, and people act like the whole world is crashing down and they are mad, that should go to tell you that you say yes maybe a little bit too often. Because if they were used to your no, they could move on from that a little bit easier than if they are so used to yes that it surprises them when they get a no. Okay, ladies? So you have to make sure that you're not saying yes when you really mean no. Say no and follow that thing up. You don't owe people your yes. Okay, ladies? That's so important. Okay, ladies. Number four is the one that I feel like the ladies tend to lack in, because we are so good at setting boundaries. We're so good at setting a standard. But number 4, ladies, do not be afraid to let people feel the consequences of their actions. Do not be afraid to let them feel the consequences of mistreating you. Do not be afraid to let people feel the consequences of disrespecting you. Do you get what I'm saying, ladies? So many times we set boundaries, right? So many times we set boundaries. We're like, don't do this. This is something I am not okay with. This is something I wish that you would not do. We set all these different boundaries and someone crosses the boundaries. Women, I see this a lot in relationships. Women with men, you could have told that joker specifically not to do something, and he crosses that boundary. And I see so many women, after men cross boundaries, just moving on past it as if nothing happened. Ladies, when you set a boundary, and it's especially in relationships, when you set a boundary, you have to let a person know that it's been crossed, and you have to be okay with handing out the consequence that comes with it. Okay? So if we're talking about a situation where a person is disrespecting your household because they coming in at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning and they think they finna come in the door and you've already let them know that's a no-go, ladies, they do not need to be getting in that door. As a matter of fact, there is no more over the night invites. Do you get what I'm saying, ladies? You have to get comfortable with letting people get the consequences of their actions. Give people the consequences for crossing your boundary. Let them feel it. Let them know that they have actually done something against you that you have already communicated to them was an issue, and let them feel the consequences. Stop shielding them from it, okay? Because when you shield people from consequences of things that they know they shouldn't have done anyways, what you're telling them is, although this is a problem for me, although I communicated this to you, and although you know I feel a way about this, my feelings come second because ultimately I just want you to be comfortable. So I'm going to push my feelings to the side, even though you knew what you did to me was wrong, and I'm going to put you first, and I'm going to let you escape these consequences. That's what you're telling them. What I feel about this, what I think about this, what I said about this does not matter, okay? So what you have to do is make sure that in your making boundaries, when you're setting standards, you are very, very clear that if someone crosses that line, that you are going to have to give them consequences for that. Okay, ladies, there are consequences for going against the standards that we set, especially in relationships. Okay, they do not get the same access to us as they did before they crossed the boundary. Okay, ladies, they do not get the same treatment from us. They cannot move the same way with us when they cross certain boundaries, especially in situations where it's been crossed multiple times. You have to allow people to feel the consequences. Okay? It's not your job to shield them. You are not their mother. Okay? Okay, ladies. And the fifth thing is master the art of release. Master the art of release. Know when to leave a situation. Know how to leave a situation. These are both very important, ladies, because sometimes we get so caught up in boundaries, crossing the boundaries, consequence, boundaries, crossing the boundaries, consequence. We forget to leave once it's gotten out of hand. We just stay. We just accept. We give another boundary. It gets crossed again. Consequence. Or maybe no consequence at all. Ladies, you have to know when it's time to walk away. You have to know when it's time and when something is not serving you anymore. You have to realize that people who come into our lives are really not meant to make them worse. Do you get what I'm saying, ladies? When people come into our lives, they should be a benefit. They should be adding to it. It should get better. Do you get what I'm saying? If someone comes into your life, especially a man, a man, a friend, whoever comes into your life and your life takes a downturn and you can tell that it has something to do with them, it's time to walk away. Okay? Especially when you're talking about a man coming into your life. If your life is going well and a man comes into your life and it starts tanking, it's time to walk away. Okay, men are meant to benefit our lives, put us in better situations, put us in situations to where we're living better than we were before. That's what we want from our men. That's the standard that we have for our men. And so if you're in a situation where people are coming into your life and your life is tanking, people are coming into your life and you're getting disrespected, people are coming to your life and you're being put in situations that are not safe for you, that are not good for your mental, if you are experiencing that, it is time to walk away. Okay, ladies, one thing I do not like is a man who says that he will protect you from everything in the world, but you find that the real thing that you need protection from is him. That's something I can't stand. You will go to bat behind this person for every single little thing, but the one thing they need protection from is you, because you keep putting them in these crazy situations. You keep hurting their feelings. You keep messing up their mental. You are the thing that needs to be taken away. Okay, ladies? So in situations where people are coming in and they are dragging you down, it's time to walk away. And here's the thing. Your walk away does not always have to be dramatic. Your walk away does not have to be a big scene. Your walk away does not have to be something out of a Tyler Perry movie. Okay, we don't need a whole song and synopsis. Okay, your walk away sometimes is most powerful when it's quiet. Why? Because when you walk away quietly, you're not doing it for an audience. You're not doing it for other people to see. You're doing it for you because you are truly ridding yourself of a situation that you do not need to be a part of. And you're doing it for you. And you don't need anybody else there to recognize it. Sometimes those are the most powerful walkaways. Okay, ladies? And so I need you to master the art of releasing situations, releasing people, releasing things that do not serve you. Okay, ladies? And here's the thing. It's not always got to be because someone is doing you so wrong. Sometimes it's just because they're not doing you right enough. Okay, ladies, it's not always because someone is a bad person. It could just be because they're just not good enough of a person. Okay, ladies, sometimes people just don't do enough to keep us, and that's okay. Okay, ladies, so master the art of learning when to walk away and how to walk away. Okay, that's going to be your power. Okay, ladies, so all in all, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you have any other tips that you want to share that can help some of the other ladies in the community. And all in all, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Leave me a comment and let me know if you did. And I will see y'all in the next episode of Get 'em Girl. Bye.